The history of Afghanistan is a complex and fascinating tale that spans several millennia. Here is a brief overview of the key events and periods in Afghanistan's history. Ancient and Classical Periods, pre-500 BCE to 651 CE. 1. Afghanistan's history dates back to ancient times, with evidence of human settlements as early as 50,000 years ago. 2. The region was part of several ancient empires, including the Achaemenid Empire, which ruled from the 6th to 4th centuries BCE, and the Maurya Empire, which controlled it in the 3rd century BCE. 3. In the 4th century CE, Buddhism spread to Afghanistan, and the famous statues of Buddha in Bamiyan were constructed during this period. Islamic empires and dynasties, 7th to 19th centuries. 1. Islam arrived in Afghanistan in the 7th century CE when Arab Muslim armies conquered the region. 2. Afghanistan became an important center of Islamic civilization and witnessed the rise and fall of various dynasties, including the Ghaznavids, Ghurids, Khwarezmians, and Timurids. 3. In the 16th century, the Mughal Empire extended its influence into Afghanistan, but it faced resistance from local Pashtun tribes. 4. The region saw the emergence of the Hotak and Durrani dynasties in the 18th century, which laid the foundation for modern Afghanistan. European influence and modernization, 19th to 20th centuries. 1. The 19th century brought increased European influence in Afghanistan, with the British and Russian empires vying for control in what came to be known as the Great Game. 2. Afghanistan successfully resisted full colonization and maintained its independence, although it signed several treaties with the British. 3. In 1919, Afghanistan regained full sovereignty and became a monarchy under King Amanullah Khan. 4. In the mid-20th century, successive Afghan governments initiated modernization efforts, including the introduction of a constitution and social reforms. 5. A communist coup in 1978 sparked a series of events that led to the Soviet Union's invasion of Afghanistan in 1979, followed by a decade-long Soviet-Afghan War. Civil War, Taliban, and international intervention, 1992 to 2001. 1. After the Soviet withdrawal in 1989, Afghanistan descended into a brutal civil war as different factions fought for control. 2. The Taliban, an Islamist militant group, emerged in the early 1990s and gradually captured most of the country. 3. By 1996, the Taliban controlled most of Afghanistan and imposed a strict interpretation of Islamic law. 4. The Taliban sheltered Osama bin Laden and his al-Qaeda network, leading to international condemnation and eventually the US-led invasion of Afghanistan in 2001. Post-2001 and recent developments. 1. The US-led invasion ousted the Taliban from power and led to the establishment of a new Afghan government. 2. However, insurgency and instability persisted, with the Taliban regaining strength in many parts of the country. 3. The conflict continued for over 2 decades, with international forces engaged in counterinsurgency operations and efforts to stabilize Afghanistan. 4. In February 2020, the US and the Taliban signed an agreement that aimed to facilitate a political settlement and the withdrawal of foreign forces. 5. In recent years, negotiations and efforts for a peaceful resolution have continued, but the situation remains complex and uncertain as of my knowledge cutoff in September 2021. It is important to note that Afghanistan's history is incredibly nuanced, with numerous regional and tribal dynamics at play. This brief overview provides a general understanding, but there are many more details and intricacies to explore.